Will Dhaka, like Singapore, get concessions from Delhi in rice export? Speculation is rife whether Bangladesh will be granted the same exemption after the Indian government last month imposed a ban on parboiled rice exports from the country following a surprise concession to Singapore. The BBC has learned that Bangladesh Commerce Minister Tipu Munshi had already requested this concession in his meeting with India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal in Jaipur last week. India's top rice exporters also told the BBC that Bangladesh is a huge market for them and they would be happy if neighbouring countries like Bangladesh or Nepal were exempted from the ban. Many observers in India also feel that similar benefits should be given to them, given India's close diplomatic ties with Bangladesh, especially since elections are also going to be held in Bangladesh under Masharek. India is the world's largest rice exporter, and Bangladesh is among the top 5 rice exporting countries in the world. According to export statistics, Bangladesh ranks second only to Benin and Senegal in Africa and Nepal in South Asia in importing non-basmati rice from India. On July 20th, India announced a ban on the export of all types of non-basmati white rice, causing unrest in the global food market. The UN has also requested India to withdraw the ban. India, however, says that they were forced to take this decision to keep the price of rice stable in the country's domestic market. Meanwhile, elections are coming up in our friendly neighbour Bangladesh. There is also a demand to import parboiled rice as the yield is not so good in the current season. Against this background, observers are naturally keeping an eye on Delhi's decision to see whether similar exemptions are given to Bangladesh after Singapore. How to leave Singapore, India's Ministry of External Affairs said in a statement late on Tuesday that the island nation is being exempted from the ban on rice exports in view of India's very close strategic relationship with Singapore. Ever since India imposed the ban a month and a half ago, the Singapore government has been maintaining close relations with India, requesting exemptions from it. The diplomatic efforts have finally paid off is evident in the Indian government's move last night. Explaining why this step, the spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs in Delhi, Arindam Bagchi, added, "We have close economic relations with Singapore. Apart from this, people-to-people contact between the two countries is also very strong. As many as 40 countries in the world depend on rice imports from India for their food security, Singapore being one of them. Their bilateral trade with India is also more than $3,000 billion. In Singapore, about 40% of the population is of Indian origin and mainly Tamil, with boiled rice also playing a large role in their diet. Experts believe that India has decided to give this special concession to Singapore by considering all these factors. When India imposed a ban on wheat exports in 2022, Egypt, a friend of the Arab world, was exempted, although it was not publicly announced then. Now, many of the arguments that India has given Singapore this special privilege apply to Bangladesh too, which is why many feel that India's diplomatic gains are not harmed by giving them the same privilege.